Get your filthy sandals off the ramp. This cruise isn't for pathetic Tagalongs. My mum barked after booking a $7,200 Bahamas trip on my card and banning me from it. I said, "Then sink with the lies you packed." "You're not coming. Don't embarrass yourself, Aiden." Her voice sliced like a whip. Mom didn't even look up from her phone, thumbing through cruise passes on the app. My app, linked to my account. "You're joking," I said, already knowing she wasn't. "You used my card, $7,200. I never even got an invite." "That's your contribution. You don't need a vacation. You need discipline," she snapped. "This is for family." I am family," I said, slower now. My voice didn't rise. It just sank, like lead. "But maybe I'm just your wallet now." "Don't be dramatic," scoffed Lacey, my sister, 27, dressed like she was already in the Bahamas. She didn't even glance up. "You live rent-free in the basement and act like you're some kind of martyr." "Rent-free?" I blinked. "I've been covering Dad's car insurance and your student loans for 3 years." Nobody asked you to," Dad muttered from the kitchen doorway, not meeting my eyes. "You're always trying to keep score." That did it. My jaw locked. My fingers itched for the phone. "My name is Aiden. I'm 25, and I'm finally done. I'm Tund Aiden Reese, 25, and this was the moment I realized something. I wasn't a son. I was a silent bank account. And I was dangerously close to overdraft, not just financially, but emotionally. They didn't see me anymore. They saw what I provided. I wasn't their child. I was collateral. An emergency fund with a heartbeat, and I was done. The cast that cut me. Mom, Denise, 52. Emotional manipulator with a smile that bites. She hasn't worked in 5 years. Took my card for a quick booking and never looked back. Dad, Mark, 56. Weak-willed enabler, retired early. I cover most of his bills, and he repays me in silence. Lacey, 27. Older sister, never had a full-time job, but somehow always gets the upgrades. Still owes me $18,400 in loans she promised to repay after grad school. She never finished. Me, Aiden, accountant, quiet, always gave more than I had, never stood up until now. It started with a $7,200 charge out on my Chase Sapphire account, cruise line, Ocean Strand voyages, cabin type, premium suite, 3 guests, departure, Fort Lauderdale, destination, Bahamas, 10 days, paid by me, invited, not me. I confronted her the day before they left. The response, "Be grateful, we raised you." Then why am I the one still paying for it? My breaking point wasn't loud. It was quiet, precise. I didn't shout. I didn't throw anything. That's not who I am. I made 3 calls. 1. Chase. Reported the charge as unauthorized. They froze the account. 2. Cruise line. Notified them I was the account holder. Revoked check-in access. 3. Maritime security via Ocean Strand. Flagged fraudulent payment use. They were mid-boarding when the security detail stepped in. The thing is, it wasn't just about the cruise. That was just the final match. The fire had started years ago, slow and invisible, like a gas leak in the walls of a house I still called home. Flashback, January 2020. Dad's company folded. Mum's health collapsed. Lacey's apartment lease fell through. I was 20, finishing my accounting degree, balancing part-time work at a hardware store, and already shouldering. More than any 20-year-old should. And when they said, "We just need a few months, Aiden. You're the only one who's good with money," I said, "Okay, take it." I gave up everything, cashed $11,500 from my Roth IRA, incurring a 10% early withdrawal penalty. Dropped out for a semester to work full-time. Took over the Padusin mortgage escrow because Dad had missed 3 payments. Cancelled my health insurance to cover Mom's post-surgery meds. And they said they'd pay me back. They said I was part of something bigger. They said they'd never forget. But they did. They bought Lacey a new MacBook Air in April 2021. They paid off Dad's 2009 Ford Escape with my Chase card. They posted smiling selfies at a resort in Key Largo when I couldn't even afford a dental checkup. When I finally asked just once about the money. Don't be petty. Mom snapped. We're family. I started to lose pieces of myself, not all at once, just slowly. I stopped decorating my birthday cake. I stopped talking during dinner. I stopped answering when they said, "We love you," because I knew they meant, "We love what you give." 2 weeks before the cruise, I was looking for tax papers in Dad's old filing cabinet. That's when I found it, deep in a yellow folder, behind expired car titles. The last will and testament of Walter Reese. My grandfather, signed, notarized, dated 2017. I didn't even know Grandpa had left money. He hadn't told anyone, but there it was in black and white. To my grandson, Aidan Reese, I leave the sum of $90,000 to be held in a trust until he reaches age 21, for education or housing. There was a separate note, handwritten in the margins. He has the kind of heart this world needs more of. Please don't let them ruin it. My breath caught. I wasn't imagining it. Grandpa had seen what they couldn't. But here's the thing. There was no money in my trust because they had emptied it. I cross-referenced probate records. Mom and Dad had filed a power of attorney, claiming I was unable to manage finances. They forged my signature. Then in 2018, they liquidated the trust and deposited it into their joint account. Used it for kitchen remodel, $24K, 2 used vehicles, $29K, Lacey's 3-month trial at grad school, $11K, and miscellaneous expenses totaling $23,600. I filed a fraud report. Quietly, carefully. My lawyer said if I wanted, I could press charges for identity theft, trust mismanagement, financial abuse. But I didn't want to destroy them. I just wanted to be free. The day of the cruise, Port Everglades, Florida. They were halfway up the boarding ramp, all 3 in matching teal shirts that said, Reese Family Getaway 2025. Lacey had an umbrella drink in one hand. Dad was filming a Facebook story. Mom was laughing. That wild, giddy laugh she only used when she knew she was getting away with something. Then she froze. A security officer stepped into her path. Denise Reese. Yes? Step aside, please. We've been notified of a payment fraud. You are not authorized for this reservation. Lacey burst into hysterics. Dad looked like someone had unplugged his soul. Mum turned around and saw me, standing off to the side, calm, hands in my pockets. "Aidan!" she screamed. "What did you do?" "I cancelled the car auditions," I said, not raising my voice. Then I cancelled the silence. More officers arrived. Cruise staff checked ID. Voices rose. Passengers stared. "Lacey, you're ruining everything." "Mom, you ungrateful little boy. We gave you life." Dad, quietly, hopelessly. "Why couldn't you just let it go?" And me, I stayed still. Then I looked at them and said, "You didn't give me life. You drained it. I was just paying the invoice. Enjoy the dock." And I walked away, the sound of their shouting behind me swallowed by the ocean wind. 3 days later, I was in Seattle. I had accepted a job offer from a mid-sized CPA firm. They covered relocation, offered full benefits, and even had a therapy stipend. My apartment was small, clean, quiet. The first night, I stood on my balcony and felt empty. Not sad, not bitter, just emptied out, like someone had finally drained the infection. 3 messages came in. From Dad. I didn't know about the will. I thought it was Mom's decision. I'm sorry. Please call me. From Lacey. Whatever. You always acted like a martyr. You're not a hero. From Mom. Nothing. Not a word. That night I slept 9 hours straight. The first time in years. I didn't press charges, but I did file a civil claim for financial recovery through my attorney. They'll likely have to settle. It's quiet, legal, and fair. I no longer speak to Lacey. Dad and I talk sometimes. It's stiff, but real. 6 months later, I keep Grandpa's letter framed by my bed. I cook my own food. I fold my laundry while listening to jazz. I text a girl named Eva I met at the dog park. I read books again. The most expensive thing in my apartment is a $49 kettle. And I love it. Forgiveness. It didn't come easy, but it came, not for them. For me, I forgave the boy I used to be, the one who thought love was something you had to earn through sacrifice. I forgave the silence I used to mistake for strength. I forgave the version of me who begged to be seen. Do I miss them? Sometimes family isn't just blood. It's not just who raised you. It's who respects you. Now, I'm building my own, even if it's just me right now, and that's enough. I don't want revenge. I want a quiet morning, paid bills, and a name that's mine again. If this story hit you in the gut, you're not alone. Like, if you've ever been the one who gave too much, comment below. Have you ever been used by family? Did you ever walk away? Subscribe for more true stories of quiet strength, real pain, and earned healing. And remember, you don't owe your silence to anyone who spent your kindness like currency. You're allowed to leave. You're allowed to speak. You're allowed to choose you. What would you have done if you were Aiden? Let's talk.